What's up, people? We are back with more of Sound of Drop Fall into Poison. So in a previous video, crazy shit went down as we were amidst floating freaking orcas. I'm telling you, orcas were freaking floating among us like no tomorrow. And yeah, apparently there's like an alternate dimension which the girl mentioned to us that we were saving from the orcas, which then we realized has a striking resemblance to how Mari would look like if she had aged 5 years after basically from her disappearance up until now. They have a striking resemblance. And in the previous video as well, you actually saw both the characters of Mayu, Mayumi, and Mari side by side, and you can see similarities between their face and the eyes as well. So I am at this moment 95% sure that that other girl is just Mari. Whether it's just whether it's actually the real Mari or it's just some form of her, like it's her body but someone else is controlling it or whatever, but it is Mari. I'm just gonna call her that even. I don't freaking care. I know it. I believe it in my heart that it is Mari. So yeah, let's continue. I believe we actually went together with her. She didn't want us to come with her, but we were like, coincidentally, this is also where I'm going. So yeah, we ended up being together here in this. It looks like a kitchen or something. Let's continue. There are stairs at the end of the underground passage. Climbing those stairs leads to a waiting room for staff. According to the map, it seems this waiting room is connected to the passageway where Hiyoshi-san went crazy. However, I cannot hear any particularly strange sounds. There are various things scattered about this room, and they seem to have been left this way for some time, but it doesn't appear to be in disrepair the way the stage is. Mari. See, look at this. Look at that. Kind of similar face. The eyes are definitely the same color, although Mari's are a little bit more stronger color, deeper color, but definitely you can see the similarities, like straight up. Why are you following me? Because in order to find the clues to escaping from this aquarium, I have to keep moving forward. Is that so? By the way, can you tell me your name? If you're going to ask someone their name, you should give yours first. Right. I'm Nakanobe Mayumi. I'm usually called Mayu. How about you? There's no need for me to tell you. The girl mixes a sigh in with this brief conversation, thinking that I'm the one who feels like sighing. Somehow the conversation has come to a close. Though her attitude towards me is cold, she has shown no outright aggression, reassuring me that I'm no longer alone. It feels like someone was recently here, I mutter, on spotting someone's clothes and partially consumed sports drink. As if having reached the same conclusion, the girl returns my glance. In this aquarium, each room is completely different, being completely ruined or being in use like this room. You think so too, then? She's surprisingly receptive to what I said. The girl sits down on the sofa in the staff room, motioning for me to sit opposite her. She seems to be telling me she wants to talk everything over thoroughly. The phenomena of Manten Aquarium. You mentioned how every room is different, but I think that each door you take is different. What exactly do you mean? I hoped you'd be sharper, but you're a blockhead after all? You have also experienced opening a door to find things have changed. Am I wrong? Yeah, I have. Things like hearing strange voices or having a normal person go crazy. The girl places her hand on her chin, a serious expression appearing on her face. I didn't think she would listen to what I had to say at all, but apparently Manten Aquarium is the exception. You said also. Does that mean you have as well? When I entered one room, I was choked by the stench. I thought it was from the tanks not being filtered, but no matter how many rooms I passed through, I realized the situation in each room was completely different. It was the same for me. Thinking I didn't completely grasp the situation, I tried going back the way I came. When I did so, the situation was completely different the first and second time around. At first, the fish in the stinky tanks were swimming about. Do you get it? When you open the door, the circumstances of the room change? At the very least, the doors are the key. After hearing your story, I'm convinced. Interesting theory, Mari. After saying this, the girl rises and adjusts the hem of her skirt. Well, I'll be off. Wait a minute. Shouldn't we share information? Like what things are like in each area? There's no need. It changes each time you open a door. So all of our experience up to this point are in the past. With that cold attitude, the girl puts her hand on the exit door. Somehow, I feel that trying to stop this girl from going on alone is pointless. Slumping my shoulders with the realization that I will once again be alone, I discover a book lying on the sofa. So she said doors are the key. What if we just leave every single door open? Does it actually mean like, cause I'm trying to think of how it would work then. If the doors are the key, does it actually mean that when you're just opening, or not necessarily opening, but just moving from one room to the next, there's like a particular, always like a cutoff point, right? Where the next step you're in the other room, and the other, if you're standing at the edge of the doorway, where the door would then open, and there's always like a particular line, and then one step where you can put one foot in the other room and the other foot stays in the previous room. Is that like the cutoff point? And if you would do that, does that mean that you are both in the present and the past, or even worse, both in the past? I don't freaking know. I don't know. I'm trying to blow my own mind here, which isn't even working, but okay, I don't know. I was just thinking, like, could it work to just leave every single door open? Because if then closing and opening, it just depends on what the actual trigger point is of the events changing. Like, she says it has to do something with the door, but is it the door opening and closing, or is it just the fact that you enter the room or whatever? I don't know, but it's not like we can do anything about it, I think. Where you were sitting just now, is that a diary? A diary? Could it belong to one of the staff of Manten Aquarium? I thought she left already. The girl reacts with sudden interest and returns to the spot facing me. Somehow, just as the girl said, it seems to be the diary of a Manten Aquarium staff member, a bit larger than a paperback. It is similar to a pocket notebook. Let me see it. The girl takes the diary from my hands and opens it. This date, it's from 5 years ago. From 5 years ago? 5 years ago. The date when Mari went missing, and that the incident the girl mentioned occurred. Manten Aquarium was the thing these two incidents had in common. This diary was something important, or has something important written inside. That is why what my intuition is telling me. We're like trying to creep by. Let me see too. I want to look too. Pulling back the girl's arm as she reads the diary on her own, I force my way in so I can peek at it as well. In the beginning, it is all a simple description of this person's job. I'm interested in how the fish are cared for and the hidden workings of the aquarium, but now is not the time. The girl flips through the book, looking for important information. This is what I want as well. Let's take our time going through this part. The date is one I recognize. A cold day, halfway through January, the date of my first visit to Manten Aquarium, a day of destiny. There's been an accident, a big one. The fish in a deep sea fish booth died due to an error in the pressure control valve, and in the ensuing panic, Director Sakuragi died as problems with the machinery increased. The loan on the deep sea fish booth hasn't even been paid off yet, but tomorrow it will be closed down right away. It's being called a closure, but the staff is being called together. I'm so down. I'm moving on. Okay. The girl continues flipping through the diary. Could this director's death have been the incident the girl was talking about? For some time after that entry, it seems to be just his grumblings. Evidently, the girl is skipping over these parts. Seems this employee was going through some tough times. It's been 3 months to the day since we started operating with the deep sea fish booth closed down. Customer traffic has decreased, even though we do have the tunnel tank and jellyfish booth. Thanks to it being promoted as a date spot, the amount of couples coming in is increasing. Our bonuses have probably been cut, but it seems we can continue without losing any staff. Finally, an optimistic entry. 3 months since the accident. For a recovery, it happened pretty fast. I don't think it was as positive as he was 3 months after Mari disappeared, or I was rather. The girl finally begins to read on in the diary. After a month passes in the diary, the speed with which she flips through the pages slows down. Lately, strange rumors have begun to spread, like that the water in the tanks turned to blood, or that the director's ghost swims about. They're urban legends. I don't know who's spreading these rumors, but they seem to be popular amongst the high school girls. Thanks to that, the amount of high school girl customers is increasing. It's probably a one-time boom. Once the boom is over, there's no doubt that the amount of customers will recede in contrast. They've been around for 5 years. These rumors. The girl nods at my words. She still doesn't take her eyes off the diary. The rumors should be fading into obscurity. They seem to be steadily increasing in their grandeur. I've been asked things by girls like, the director was killed, right? It was a murder, right? That shouldn't be happening. Well, it's fine as long as the girl is cute. Oh wow. For a second, a scowl appears on the girl's face. This staff person's candid thoughts aren't really reassuring. It will probably be impossible for anyone to remain neutral after this, so I can sympathize with the girl's sullen expression. Even amongst the staff here, rumors have begun to spread. Even those who are decent adults are keeping them alive. I want Kozuki to stop with there are so many fishy things about the accident in the deep sea fish booth and playing detective. The girl pauses briefly as she thinks something over, but when she realizes I am looking at her, she flips the page noisily. That Kozuki, he's been out for 3 days now. He's pushed his luck too far by encouraging these rumors. It doesn't seem to be just someone skipping work. The girl's puzzled expression gives a hint of something more. That guy, ever since he came back, he's gotten weird. How are the fish? How is the ghost? I'm the only one that's actually listening to him. From here, the writing gets messy. It does. Don't play around. Stop messing with me. What's going on? Kozuki drowned to death in one of the tanks. I thought he'd been going too far with these rumors, but he was a good guy. Everyone else was started calling it a curse. What's going on, damn it? Again, someone died in Manten Aquarium, and he was a person who was active in spreading the urban legends. With that, the rumors would have become easier to swallow for children and adults. Something is weird. Lately, deaths amongst the creatures we have on display have increased. After all our work to recover, management is hitting a slump again. The weird rumors aren't going away either. Why can't I see the ghost of a girl inside the aquarium? It's so over the top. I don't get any of it. The two of us continue to read intently. Lately, I'm seeing fish everywhere, as if seeking prey. I have a voracious appetite. Come to think of it, I've started to think that rumor in particular might be true. After the closing of the exhibit, I've seen a girl with long hair. Even though it's June, she's wearing winter clothes. There's no doubt about that. Oh my god, that's the Marie from 5 years ago, right? What? Without my noticing, that word slips out. No, that's wrong. Denial appears in my mind. The girl notices that I've fallen into a strange state, and she curtly says, "Concentrate." Either way, I'm already concentrating. I take a deep breath and steady my breathing, squinting to follow the words of the diary. "I've gone crazy," or so many of them say. What's crazy about me? I haven't the slightest idea. This is an aquarium, so it shouldn't be weird for there to be fish everywhere. Look, even as I write this, they swim around me. There's a clownfish. This is probably the same phenomenon as I experienced. Yeah, fish swimming about, even in places with no water. It had to be connected to the phenomenon in the underground control room. Even with this girl and I having experienced being attacked ourselves, it feels like I'm still resisting this for some reason. Lately, I feel like I'm going to drown. I wonder if my body is weakening. Nevertheless, everyone is so cruel. Even if I were to start drowning in this room, no one would help me. Drowning with no water there. That's... yes, the same phenomenon. And by this room, maybe the room we're in right now, this staff room. I want to go ahead and quit. I'm at my limits. Fish are swimming around everywhere. No matter where I go, I feel like I'm drowning. And no matter what, no one believes me. Ever since Kosuke died, I'm miserable. The next entry is the last. Yeah, let's take a look. I'm pretty sure she died at the end. Spoiler alert. I wonder if my past life was as a fish. Recently, I feel no resistance in the water. I wonder what that means. Who knows? The girl closes the diary and places it on the table with a dull thud. What if all those quote-unquote floating fishes, you know, that are fishes that are swimming about everywhere, even when there's no water, what if they're actually humans that died there? And for some reason, I don't know why though. It would be strange though, but apparently just when you're here long enough, or when you're exposed to a certain thing or something, you get soaked up by the atmosphere in a sense, and it just slowly kills you, or it pulls you into this different dimension where you turn into a fish. I don't freaking know. That's a long one, but it could be plausible. Who knows? The last entry in the diary was July 10th, around the same time of years now. I wonder, what could have happened to the staff member after that? I somehow know the answer. Surely he met the same end as the one called Kosuke. As I mull over my doubts, I notice a half-full plastic bottle on the table. This juice. This expiration date is the expiration date on it is from 4 years ago. There is a calendar on the other side, but it's also from 4 years ago. Okay, so we're currently in a room from 4 years ago. I thought this room seemed to have been recently in use, but it's the Manten Aquarium from 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Yes, the prices in the pamphlet left here are also 200 yen cheaper than they are now, so there's no doubt about it. Despite my lingering doubts, I believe what she says. Up to this point, I've seen time passing in a weird fashion here many times. Rather than being in awe of the fact that we're in the Manten Aquarium of long ago, I'm more caught up in the realization of how many years have passed. Once, 4 years ago, Manten Aquarium closed down for about half a year. It was right around July. Surely that was when this employee died. I had no idea. It wouldn't have been that big a deal. There are other things for people to do for fun. Anyway, the current urban legends about Manten Aquarium probably came from this period, and they aren't merely rumors. You're saying that there could be others that wound up in similar circumstances to ours? Yes. Moreover, there may be someone who got out of this Manten Aquarium. There has to be a clue somewhere after all. This diary hints at that. However, this diary holds one more possibility, that 3 days absence from work, after that disappearance, the person called Kozuki had an accident and died. Kozuki had returned to the real world, but was unable to live on peacefully. There's a stinging sensation inside of me. I'm getting goosebumps right now, I don't freaking know. The reason we came to Manten Aquarium was because of Himeno's ghost story. Couldn't that have also been someone who returned from Manten Aquarium? The story's content was different, but the result was the same. The full moon and red water could be considered a dramatization of an urban legend. There's something that's bothering me. It's a ghost story I heard from Himeno. Ghost story? Having caught the girl's attention, I tell her the story as we sit. I forget some of the finer details and mix up the order, but I give her the same general story. You heard the story from that girl Himeno? You don't know any more details? That's all I heard. Himeno insisted it was a rumor, so she probably doesn't know any further details either. I see. By any chance, have you heard that story as well? Some time passes, but the girl still doesn't say anything else on the subject. The girl's expression seems a little different than it has up until now, but I cannot get a deeper read on it. Not allowing the silence to continue much longer, the girl speaks without looking at me. Thinking about it won't do any good. Well, I'm going. Mari, don't leave. Wait! Didn't I tell you? I have no desire to run from Manten Aquarium. The girl says this over her shoulder, putting her hand on the door to the staff room. According to the map, the girl exit leads to the gate. The girl having turned down my request for company, I can see that she is no longer going to stop to help me, so I don't try to make her. And now, I am alone, once again. This is where the creepy stuff happens. This room has neither the sound of machines, nor that of ventilation fans, so I can hear the beating of my timid little heart. I remember another rumor the staff member wrote in the diary. A girl with long hair and winter clothes. The girl was referred to as a ghost. She wasn't in the story Himeno told. What it may have hinted at was that Mari had already become a ghost, so the Mari that had appeared before me was... One part of me agrees without thinking, but another part of me rejects it. I'm torn between the two, and the inside of my eyes grows hot. Oh, what is she thinking? That she obviously still thinks that other girl is Mari, but not... It could be like that a Mari that has come back from an alternate dimension or something. I don't know. But there's no use in thinking about it. I have to move forward. If I falter, nothing will change, right? I am alone again. But it isn't as if I don't know anything. It isn't as if I can't do anything. So, I have to save Himeno, I have to save Mari. Oh, this is so difficult. What? It's either Himeno, our dear friend, or Mari, our long-lost sister. How can you choose between these two? Like... Both are obviously dear and precious to you, right? But doesn't it say that family ties trumps all? Triumphs over everything? I don't know. Oh gosh, have to save Himeno. Like, the thing about it is that Himeno is like fresher in our mind, considering that she's both dying and, you know, this isn't something that Himeno we know, not necessarily a very long time. I don't know how long we know her, but it is recent that we've become friends with her. So it is more recent in our memory rather than Mari. And if the person that we think is Mari, which was that other girl, she seems to be doing pretty fine on her own. But still, it is our little sister, probably 95% sure. So this is such a tough choice. Especially considering that this isn't a red choice, so this isn't going to give us a bad ending or a good ending. It's just going to deviate the story, I guess. So, save Himeno, save Mari. Oh, this is difficult. This is difficult. What do I do? I guess I'll go and save Himeno just because I feel that Mari, like, I think it's better to overall, if we look at the current picture, Mari was lost 5 years ago. Yeah, she went missing 5 years ago. If that is the Mari that we think it is, then she has been doing fine in these 5 years as well. So I think it's overall better to try and save our dying friend and uncover the mysteries of Manten Aquarium, which would then indirectly, hopefully, save Mari as well. I think that's the best way of going about it, because if we go after Mari, I don't think there's anything we can do for Himeno at all, which would suck because she's our dear lovely friend and we can't leave her behind. So I'm gonna save Himeno here. I think that is ultimately the best option here, so we're gonna do that. That's right, I will save Himeno. I won't just say that she can probably be saved. Within this aquarium, I have to be determined. The girl had steeled herself because she had no doubts. She seemed strong. I'll move on. Saying this, I reached for the door of the staff room. Uh-oh. Entering a different room, which means, yeah, you all know. Oh god. I'm actually drinking ginger tea that is really freaking strong. It's good for my throat, but it's really strong. Oh, that was definitely the first time we switched seats in the 7th grade. Flashback. Oh, Himeno. Okay, who will I sit next to? Nakabe-san? Was it? It's Nakanobe. When I first entered junior high, I didn't really make an effort to talk to any of my classmates, so I had no friends. Even now, I have anxiety about talking to people I don't know. It pales in comparison to the way I was the year before last. During free time, I would read books in a corner of the classroom. During lunchtime, I would slowly eat my lunch alone. That was how it was every day. I knew how to keep myself occupied. Sorry. By the way, Nakanobe-san, do you have low blood pressure? No, not really. Well, I'm your neighbor now. Let's get to know each other. Himeno was the last one in the row closest to the window, and I was next to her. Himeno ended up with no one else to talk to, so she did all she could to talk to me. Or at least, that's how I saw it. Mayu, your lunch is ground steak with cheese inside. I just love it. Let me have a little. My side dish. Okay, I'll give you the pork from the yakisoba bread, Mayu. No thanks. Jeez, quit being so picky, Mayu. Mayu? Yeah, Mayu. You're Mayumi-chan, right? So I thought I should call you Mayu. You remember my name. This exchange took place 2 days after our seats changed. I still hadn't opened my heart to Himeno. Undaunted by my curt manner, Himeno would do things like reach for my boxed lunch. Up to that point, I had never told her my first name, but Himeno called me Mayu. After that day, something changed. I would initiate conversation with Himeno, and even after that semester and the next seat change, Himeno would bring her lunch over and eat with me at my desk. Before I realized it, Himeno and I had become friends. The first time Himeno and I ever argued was in the summer. Should we see a documentary or a horror movie? It was a trivial matter, but it was important to us. After that, Himeno and I fought numerous times, but we made up just as many. Every time it rains, the ground hardens. Himeno, I muttered to myself. Even with today's argument, we made up. There was nothing else more important that Tamagawa Himeno, My one and my only best friend. My best friend. Yes, that's right. No matter what, I will protect her. Oh, Himeno-chan. I will protect you. Oh god, shouldn't have taken that big a sip. Oh, it burns my throat. After I leave the staff room and walk for a bit, the entrance gate appears in my line of sight. I exit into a different place from the staff passageway I entered with Hiyoshi-san. This aquarium has more back passages than I thought. Thinking it over, I've almost walked the entire aquarium. The only place I haven't visited are places for authorized personnel only, and a closed-off deep-sea fish booth. Diagonally across from this area is apparently an authorized personnel only space, the director's office, reaching by going behind the Fish of the World booth. There's a map for authorized personnel to use hanging on the door to the staff room. If I head out from the tunnel tank, I can make something of a shortcut, but I'm still afraid of the flying cutlass fish. Going through the door will probably cause the state of things to change, but I can't handle things getting as bad as the tank breaking or something like that again. If that's the case, I'll have to go by the jellyfish booth. In that room, even if the glass is broken, I know I can deal with it. If I walk carefully, I won't fall. I can't just loaf around here. Closing up the map and starting to walk, the gate to Manten Aquarium appears in my line of sight. I wonder if I can get out this way. The question born from within me has a simple solution. That girl had said this aquarium was isolated in a different dimension, but she had also said that she had not tested that idea. I think I should try tossing something in, so I roll a bucket that had been knocked over. The bucket passes through the gate, and at the center of the gate, it disappears. It vanished. From here, I can see the Manten East building elevator. Oh gosh, what should I do? There might be some value in trying to use my own body to test it. You know what? Just because this sounds incredibly cool because of the possibilities that could happen, like us being in 2 dimensions at once, even if it ends up giving us a bad ending or dying, I think this is something worth testing, so I'm just gonna do okay, I'll try it. Just because this could work out incredibly awesome, you know? Or incredibly horrible, but then it would still be awesomely horrible. I prepare myself, then push the door to the automatic turnstile with my hands. Uh-oh. That sound. What? For some time, my consciousness feels like it's gotten hazy. When my head clears, I can hear the sound of chatter. Could I be? What's wrong? This is Manten Aquarium, isn't it? Yes, that's right. You can purchase tickets over there. Noticing that I look disoriented, a woman speaks to me in a kind voice. Her uniform is the same, but her manner is quite different from Saginuma-san's. It's kind. Could it be? I have no room for any doubts. Numerous people are entering and exiting through the gate. I can't hear any strange screams either. I was able to get back. But I have no time for relief. There are some problems that remain unsolved. I'd like a return ticket. Please? I hold out my ticket and complete the re-entry procedure. I pass through the gate and find only customers having their fill of the aquarium. The Fish of Tokyo Bay booth is exactly the same as it was before. I am able to pass through the tunnel tank normally. There's no danger of anything like a flying cutlass fish. What the actual hell? In the Fish of the World booth, there are tons of brightly colored fish. There are no mummified dead bodies or fragments of destruction. The jellyfish booth is as pretty as ever, however, with no phenomena taking place. This only causes my uneasiness to grow. That's weird, right? The fact that we return to a Manten Aquarium where everything is normal is uneasy for us, or feels uneasy. I can't get back. The fact that I came back now, but can't return, is quite a contradiction. But that's the way it is after all. I want to return to that Manten Aquarium that is full of phenomena, a different dimension, side-by-side worlds, parallel worlds. Whatever they really are is irrelevant. I just need to return to Himeno's side. What do I do? Wow, everything is just normal. I run through the entire aquarium once. Even so, nothing happens. That Manten Aquarium with the heavy atmosphere, it's gone away somewhere. Big sister. Mari? I am aware that it's an auditory hallucination. I just wish that she could hear me. Oh god, something's gonna happen. Oh gosh. I'm gonna end the video here just for, cliffhanger purposes and whatnot. And I'm getting a bit freaked out, so I'm gonna save the freakiness for the next video. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video. Holy crap. Peace.